Trump family is worth about $5 billion more today after launching a new cryptocurrency venture. Public disclosure so President Trump's family members hold 22.5 billion tokens of World Liberty Financial, which opened trading yesterday. Now the windfall is raising ethical concerns.
The venture co-founded by the president's three sons has earned the family $5 billion on paper wealth after it opened trading on a new digital currency, making it available for buying and selling on the open market.
The bonds, of course, were hideous. We have a big non-farm labor report on Friday, and the market's almost always turning negative now ahead of any big number. Why? Because unless everything's non-inflationary, quite a rarity, the Fed may look at these numbers and pause its plans for rate cuts.
Everybody's talking about the USA. They're talking about the job that we're doing. Everybody. We have the best economy. We have a very, very important decision being made by the Supreme Court because our country is the richest, the strongest, the most powerful. But if for some reason some liberal court, I'm talking about the court that just ruled, where even an Obama judge voted in favor of us, which I gave him a compliment yesterday, as you know. I said that took great courage. But it's a liberal court, and it's going up to the Supreme Court, who I think have been incredible people. I think they've made very wise decisions. But the tariff question, because without the tariffs, this country is in serious, serious trouble. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investment is coming in. Most of it is coming because of tariffs. And if for some reason somebody wanted to be politically correct, I actually think it's unpolitically correct. I think politically correct is to approve it because there's nothing so popular as what's happened to our country. Our country is doing so well. But we had a liberal court gave us a very shocking ruling, and that ruling is basically saying that the trillions of dollars that are pouring into our country, putting us in a position like no country is anywhere in the world, that they'd like to see us that taken away. By the way, a lot of the people behind that lawsuit, that particular, are from foreign countries. I might add.
There's a video that is circulating online now of the White House where a window is open to the residents upstairs and somebody is throwing a big bag out the window. Have you seen this?
No, that's probably AI generated. So actually, you can't open the windows. You know why? They're all heavily armored and bulletproof.
So that's a fake video?
Well, it's got to be because I know every window up there. The last place I'd be doing it is that because there's cameras all over the place, right? Including yours. No, but every window, I've never seen a window that's, in fact, my wife was complaining about it the other day. She said, love to have a little fresh air come in, but you can't. They're bulletproof. And number one, they're sealed. And number two, each window weighs about 600 pounds. You have to be pretty strong to open them up. No, that has to be, where was the window? Let me see.
Maybe from the renovations.
Which is the window?
It looks like this is on the 15th Street side, I think. Yeah. So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows are they're all sealed. You can't open them.
What you were saying regarding the federal.
It's the kind of thing they do. And one of the problems we have with AI, it's both good and bad. If something happens really bad, just blame AI. But also they create things, you know, it works both ways. If something happens that's really bad, maybe I'll have to just blame AI. But there's truth to it because I see so many phony things. I saw something as I was growing up from the time I was a baby till now. I said, who did that? It was AI generated. So it's a little bit scary, to be honest with you. But those windows are all very heavily sealed.
That's right. Paramount, which they're calling a Skydance corporation. This is, of course, part of David Ellison's newly combined company, announcing a very big deal with Activision Blizzard to make a live-action Call of Duty movie. The company's release here pointing out that Call of Duty has been the #1 best-selling video game in the U.S. for 16 consecutive years, with over 500 million copies sold globally, reaching hundreds of millions of players worldwide. And the plan now is for Paramount to develop, produce, and distribute a live-action feature film based on Call of Duty.
Welcome to the Cryptoteacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Trump and family laughing to the bank because they know all about the fourth industrial revolution and their buddies are getting paid. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Kramer on the bond market. And then plus the VIX is going to be very volatile this week because we get jobs numbers. And remember, the job market is just going to keep getting weaker and weaker because they want to integrate the machines. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And of course, we get more drama when it comes to these tariffs. We have the Supreme Court calling them illegal. But remember, guys, this is a movie. You get your popcorn, sit back, and let it play out. But these tariffs are not going anywhere. And Trump has explained on several occasions on why these tariffs are so important. And then when you have press conferences, you have to listen to every little detail. And they bring up deep fakes. And we know deep fakes are going to get worse and worse. You're not going to be able to trust what you see at first hand. Remember, they have eyes, but they do not see. They have ears, but they do not hear. You're going to have to take your time, sit back, and let it play out. Because if you react to something, you're going to make a bad decision. We've seen it too many times, especially during the C word. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Paramount and Activision come together to bring Call of Duty to your local theaters. And guys, we know eventually it's going to make its way inside the metaverse. But first, we're going to see things like this go to Netflix, Hulu, where people can actually interact. And then that's just another step to lead people inside the virtual world. Do not forget the go. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the U.S. revokes Taiwan semiconductors to freely ship into its main Chinese facility. And guys, we know we're going to have this chip war about to happen, currency war, trade war. We are definitely only 12 months away before we get chaos. And how do we know that? We have Putin, Xi, and Modi at the China summit. And guys, we know that's all about the rise of the Brics and the fall of America to Babylon. We are witnessing it right in front of our eyes. Remember, guys, we are definitely the chosen generation. And it's up to the elders to educate the millennials and Generation Z. But unfortunately, the elders are distracted on things that don't matter, and we know these kids are going to pay the price. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Trump directed military on Venezuela due to a drug shipment. But guys, we know what? The banks are the biggest what? I'll let you finish that. We have a lot of chaos going on globally that does not hit your news. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And the things that do hit mainstream media are the things they want you to see to sell the narrative. Because now we have GPS jamming on flights blamed on Russia. And this is something that we've seen in the movies. And it's always the same boogeyman. China, Russia, North Korea. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
That the U.S. pulled their waivers for China shipments of chip supplies. What's happening?
Okay, so breaking news story. This relates to TSMC's validated end user agreement, which allowed them to move gear to their mainland China facility in Nanjing. Basically, it's the same move that we saw from the United States last week, Friday, with Samsung and SK Hynix, where essentially any supplier associated with that facility in China has to get specific licenses in order to operate and pass on material to TSMC. The fundamental difference, but noting that TSMC's US ADRs are down significantly on this piece of news, is that TSMC has a very small footprint in mainland China. Basically a single facility that's run since 2018. By comparison, Samsung and SK Hynix have a lot of chip manufacturing in mainland China. But going back to what we were just talking about on concentration risk, the idea that the markets are sanguine on some names relative to others is that you also have NVIDIA and the software names Microsoft, Alphabet, etc., Amazon. They are largely seen as being beneficiaries of US policy. TSMC is kind of caught in the middle, right, where America is trying to push them to do more in this nation while policing their activity outside of its borders.
Prime Minister Modi is simply looking for the cheapest oil for as many people as he can. Is it as simple as that? How about President Xi?
So for both of them, oil prices are important, right? I mean, that makes up a large portion of their need. Both of them are very dependent on energy imports. And as you said, for Modi, this is about cheap oil. It is about a broader strategic relationship with a key defense partner in Russia. But Modi has tried to work his way in the middle, maintaining a strong relationship and developing a relationship with Ukraine and Russia, and even trying at times to push for that peace agreement, but not risking his own political capital to do so. Beijing is in a very different position, right? Following Russia's broader invasion of Ukraine, Beijing stepped in to support Moscow as Western sanctions really started to cripple the economy and has now become its primary and principal economic and security partner globally. And so this meeting with President Xi and President Putin was yet another moment for them to highlight that relationship isn't changing and that they're going to continue to grow what has become a over $250 billion trading relationship and a key lifeline for Moscow as it continues to conduct its war in Ukraine.
We just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it. We didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing. And you'll see, and there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time, and we just these came out of Venezuela, and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela, so we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over.
The European Commission has just in the last few minutes confirmed those reports that the plane carrying von der Leyen, which was landing in Bulgaria on Sunday as part of this 4-day tour, did land safely, but it was the subject of GPS jamming. Now, Bulgarian authorities have said that this is the fault of Russia, and in fact, a lot of the Baltic countries have reported an increase in this kind of activity, GPS jamming, impacting maritime and air travel across Europe by Russia. So very much an indication of the tensions that are out there at the moment in Europe as this war rages on in Ukraine. And as you said there, the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, I think capturing what a lot of people are feeling here. There was a lot of enthusiasm a few weeks ago that there was some kind of deal potentially in the offing. I think the Europeans were very positive when they attended that meeting in the White House with Donald Trump a few days after the Alaska summit. But since then, it's been relatively quiet. Now, officials, defense officials, national security advisors from some of those big European allies in the United States have been talking about what kind of ceasefire this would look like in practice, what would evolve in terms of boots on the ground or perhaps air defense help from the United States. But so far, we've seen very little detail of that. Now, we have been reporting this morning that President Zelensky is due to meet allies to travel for a meeting on Thursday to Europe, so perhaps we may see some development later on in the week on this.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.